Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you what I did to my friend's living room. As you know, my friend gave me the task to buy furniture for her apartment, which is awesome because it gives me the opportunity to do absolutely what I want since she didn't give me any restrictions whatsoever. The only thing she was hoping for is to get a lot of storage space solutions, so I'm trying to get that for her. But besides that, in terms of colors and which furniture I choose, it's completely up to me and it's a lot of fun to do. If you've been following my channel, you know that I've already done the transformation of the master bedroom, the bathroom, as well as the study room. I can't wait to share the living room with you because the living room is such a centerpiece of the apartment. Also, when you open the entrance door, it's the first room you can see, so it's very important for it to look nice, welcoming, and have nice colors, in my opinion. Before we started with the transformation process, let me share with you what everything looked like in the beginning. Here we go. This is the living room situation at the very beginning. As you can see, it's not a huge room, but it still has a lot of potential, I think. Very messy, as you can tell, a lot of things going on. It was basically the area that I left to do last because it's so close to the entrance. I used it as a dumpster for all the packaging and everything that was left over from the other rooms. So that's why it looks a bit messy on the before situation. But once I was ready with the other rooms and had all the big things purchased, it was finally time to get started with the living room, and that's what we're going to do now. In the first step, I had to make sure to remove everything from the living room so that I had all the space available for the transformation. As I said in a previous video, I'm very sorry for my first series of my own rental apartment being so dark on video. The problem was that when I was renovating my own rental apartment, I didn't realize that it would end up so dark on the camera, and for that reason I didn't get started with the lights. But I did learn from my mistake, so the first thing I did in all the rooms of my friend's apartment is to install the ceiling lights. The ceiling lamp that I chose is somewhat similar to the ceiling lamp I chose for the master bedroom. Although it's not the same style, not the same design, they all somehow resemble a spider in a good sense, not in a bad sense, because it has so many arms and is black. However, to the end of each of the arms there are several glass balls, so it gives it a very nice outlook, I think. And most importantly, it gives the room a lot of light, which is definitely necessary to make all these videos for you. Here's the ceiling lamp, and as you can see, it really does resemble a spider, doesn't it? The first thing you have to do is to attach all these different arms, and once you're done with that, you have to put all the cables together. Just make sure to turn off the electricity before you start working with the lights. That's the most important thing you can do. By that I mean that there's a main electricity switch that is in charge of your whole house or your apartment, and you have to make sure that that is turned off, not just the light switch. That is the only thing you have to make sure you do if you mount a light, especially if you do it for the first time. Besides that, there's not much that can go wrong when installing a light. I recommend sticking to the instruction sheet that is delivered together with your lamp. That's what I have been doing. Actually, if you've mounted 2 or 3 lamps, you will have the hang of it. They are pretty much all the same, and it isn't that challenging at all. The first time I installed a lamp, I thought it was something very difficult and I thought I might need someone to help me do it. But when I was actually doing it, I realized that it's not as difficult as it might appear. My advice for anyone who is frightened of doing it for the first time, don't be frightened. It's really not that difficult and it's absolutely worth it. There's no need to pay some horrendous fee in order to have someone install it for you, trust me. Once you have mounted all the glass balls onto the lamp, it is finally ready to be seen. Here you can see a full view of the light that I just installed. Having installed the light, it is finally the time to get some living room furniture, and what could be more important than a couch? The couch I chose has a very funny design, sort of an L-shaped couch because one part of it comes out from the front. However, because it's not a 90-degree angle and a bit wider, it doesn't really appear like an L anymore. However, I love the material of the couch. I think it fits perfectly into the space, and somehow I feel like L-shaped couch often make the room much smaller. For that reason, I didn't go for an L-shaped couch and found this alternative instead. The funny thing is, when the couch arrived, I initially wanted to make a video of it being carried in, but somehow the people who carried it in realized, and they were very shy, so they asked me to turn off the camera, and well, I have to respect that. So you will see the couch has arrived and it has been put in the perfect position how I wanted to have it. My next step in the transformation was to place the other little items around the couch, such as a coffee table, a carpet, and a reading light. Here you can see the couch. Doesn't it look awesome? It has a gray brownish tone to it. I added a carpet that has the same feel to it and 2 brown round coffee tables that are not too heavy so that you can move them around the room wherever you need them to be. Consequently, I continued with the reading light. The reading light is something that I wanted to place right behind the couch. I think it's very important for a cozy feel to have a reading light, since it allows you to turn off all your ceiling lamps and so on and just be cozy and read a book, for instance. With these pieces of furniture in place, my next step was to install the curtains. As you might have realized from my master bedroom, what I like doing is to find curtains that have a bright color, since I think they make a wonderful statement when you enter the room. In the master bedroom, if you remember, I mixed gray with orange for the curtains. Although the rest of the master bedroom isn't colorful at all, because the curtains are so colorful, it seems as if the whole room was extremely colorful, and that's exactly the effect I wanted to achieve. Same thing goes for the living room. You will see I matched two different colors once again, and I think they give it a very nice and different vibe to the other rooms that I've already done. And that was exactly my aim. I wanted the living room to be special, and I wanted each room to have their own different style and different touch. For that reason, I chose different colored curtains for each room. The first step when mounting a curtain is obviously the curtain rod. You have to make sure to prep it, and then you need the curtain rod to be mounted to the ceiling, which is what I'm doing here. I had to drill a couple of holes into the ceiling, which was no problem, and then it was time to mount the curtain rod onto the little clips that I had installed earlier. It was very easily done, so again, this is something, if you have never done it, it might look as if it were very difficult, but in reality, if you want to try it out and want to save some money, I can highly recommend just doing it yourself because it is so straightforward. Obviously, installing the curtain rod is only part one of installing curtains. The actual curtains have to be mounted as well. If you look around online, you will notice there are different ways of mounting curtains. I chose this way, which means I needed a couple of hooks, and I chose a distance of skipping 4 and putting in a hook. I have to admit this takes a bit of time, especially if your curtains are on the longer side of things. But if you listen to the radio or you watch a movie at the same time, it's actually quite a relaxing activity, I think. Since these curtains are so long and huge, I found it the easiest to have it like a towel around your neck and then go on the ladder and put on the curtains bit by bit. I found it to be very easy, much better than holding it in some strange, peculiar way. And the good thing is that they aren't heavy like that at all, because these curtains can get very heavy if you hold them in your hands, and if you have to go on the ladder on top of that, it can be very dangerous. So consequently, I recommend you do it like this. It might look a bit funny, but it's very useful to do it in a way that is much more secure and makes it much easier for you to accomplish this task. Can you see how these curtains make a whole difference to the room? As I mentioned before installing the curtains, I chose the curtains because they give the room a certain feel, a certain color. And now that I chose the colors, I was ready to get pillows and picture frames that match the curtains as well, in order to reinforce that vibe of yellow, brown, and blue, which are the colors I chose for the living room. I love these pillows because they really match the color scheme that I wanted to have in this room. So I'm very proud that I was able to find these pillows in blue and yellow. I got the pillow fillings separately, so I had to put the pillow fillings into the pillowcase. And I also found this nice yellow blanket which fits exactly into the space. Next, I installed the picture frames. My general advice for mounting picture frames, especially if it's more than one, it is very useful if you aren't alone, so that someone can tell you if it's actually a straight line or not. If it's just one picture, it doesn't really matter if it's a bit up or down, but I realized that when I was mounting these, being alone in a room makes it a bit more difficult and means that you have to measure everything 2 or 3 times before you can be sure that everything is actually in a line, as I hope it is now. You might remember from the beginning of my video that my friend asked for some storage solutions, which is what I did. I got her a TV stand, as well as 2 different storage solutions to either side. Because it had to fit the dimensions of her living room, I designed them and had them made out of wood, and I think they worked out pretty well and look exactly like what I wanted to have in the living room. As you can see, the TV stand was pretty much ready to go when it arrived. All I had to do was to mount the bottom part on top of the piece of furniture and turn it around, and the TV stand was ready to go. Since I designed the TV stand by myself, I did decide which material I wanted to use, and I chose wood on top and the steel structure for the feet, because that enables the feet to be very thin and makes the furniture look much lighter, I believe. The other thing I chose were the handles. As you can see, I chose black handles and mounted them onto the TV stand. I'm now on to the next storage solution. As you can see, it also arrived in one piece. All I had to do was to put the bottom part on top of it, but it was very heavy and it was quite difficult to turn it around, I have to say, because I didn't want to damage the floor. When turning around the furniture, you have to be very careful because it might happen that the field accidentally break if you are too fast. If you have someone who can help you, you can do it together and it's much easier. Since I didn't have anyone, I did it by myself but made sure to be very slowly. For the left piece of furniture, exactly the same thing. It arrived in one piece. All I had to do was to put on the bottom feet and the handles, and the 3 pieces of furniture were ready to be used. Talking about the handles can make a huge difference. There are many different colors to choose from in addition to different shapes. I went for these because I thought that they are very minimalistic, which is the effect I wanted to have, and I thought they fit very well into the space. But if you choose different handles, there's a huge variety of different handles available, and it completely depends on your taste and what you think will look nice. All that was left was to push the storage solution into its corner. This is already close to the end of the video, but it wouldn't be the end of the video if there weren't a before and after comparison of what we've just achieved. In case that you've forgotten what we started with, let me show you a quick overview of what everything looked like at the very beginning. Now you can remember, it was this very ugly and messy space that we had to transform. Now that we've refreshed our minds, let me show you what it looks like right now after all the things that we purchased and installed and that I've shared with you throughout the video. As you can see, both storage solutions to either side of the TV stand are of different heights. I thought that is a good idea because I wanted it to look a bit different. I didn't want everything to look symmetrical, that's why I went for different heights. Also note how I stuck to my color scheme of yellow, blue, cream and brown, and I think it makes it a very cozy space that I hope my friend will enjoy being in. As you can see, the pillows, the frames and the curtains are a perfect color match. You might have realized that I love using different sorts of pillows on a couch and on a bed. I think it makes for wonderful decoration, especially in this case since the rest of the furniture isn't very colorful, and I think it gives it a wonderful vibe that you can also change throughout the season. Let's say you wanted it to be a bit different in the winter, you can always change your pillowcases and change the feel of your living room instantly. I hope you like it and I hope my friend likes it because she will see everything once the whole apartment is done, so I keep leaving the apartment hoping that she will like it one day. But obviously I have no way of knowing in advance, but I can only hope that she will like it and will eventually enjoy living in this apartment. Thanks a lot for checking out this video. If you haven't seen the other videos in the series, now is a wonderful opportunity to do so. Also, I've already shared the whole series of my own rental apartment makeover before that. If you haven't seen that, you can check that out as well. If you don't want to miss out on any future videos and you enjoyed watching this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider following me. I can't wait to see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye!